Welcome to Backwoods Pursuit. I'm Gabe Garish, and today we're going to take a look at the VSSL coffee system. This is a super unique portable coffee system that allows you to take your favorite coffee wherever you are going, whether that be on a backpacking or hiking trip or traveling. I'm going to show you how this thing works, as well as a modification that I made to make it work a little bit better for me. Then we're going to go over how the grinder works, the weights of each of these items and the set combined, and finally some things I liked and didn't like. I'll put a link to this down in the description, as well as a link to our website, backwoodspursuit.com, and social media channels. Let's get started. All right, so what is the VSSL coffee system and how does it work? Real quick here, it screws all together so you have everything you need to make awesome pour over coffee. Whatever your favorite blend is, you can take it with you. And then the grinder here actually stores inside here as well if you'd like it to. But to get this started, you take it apart. You've got one cup there and then a lid. You just unscrew the second portion here, and this is the pour over portion. And there's a filter down in there. So you can put the grinds right in there, and then you have a third or second cup and then a third cup here. And so the way this works is you take the pour over section here and put the filter in there, and then put it over whichever cup you are using. Pour the water over there, over the coffee, and then it'll drip through there, and then you go ahead and put your lid on and you are ready to go for your coffee. Now, like I mentioned, it comes with all of these pieces combined and in the kit. And then this doubles also as a place to store the grinder if you so choose to go with the grinder. We'll look at that in just a moment. It's a system here that combines everything you need into one compact kit, so you can take it wherever you want. You can take this, say if you're traveling, you're going to stay at a hotel. Hotel coffee is typically not that great, so you can take whatever your favorite blend is with you and have pour over coffee without having to drink that hotel coffee. It's also great for backpacking. It's compact enough and light enough that you can take it with you if you are backpacking and just really enjoy that good cup of coffee in the morning by the lake up in the mountains. It's great for that. Really for me though, the best use case for me personally anyways, is in the camping, in your car camping, pulling up to a camping spot and you are able to use this, pull this out and facilitate some awesome coffee without having to go with something that is not going to taste that great when you're out camping. So it's nice and compact, fits right in your camping gear. That's just one of the uses and one that's super useful for me that I've found. Now, one customization that I made is I added a second lid to the kit, and it screws right onto the canister system really easily. You can add more if you'd like, but there's really no need to. And I did that because I found it odd that it came with two real nice vacuum sealed stainless steel mugs, but only one lid. So I went ahead and added a second lid. It goes on there really easily, so you just put it back together the same way that you would initially. Go ahead and screw each of the pieces here together, and then the second lid just goes right on top of the third lid, or I'm sorry, the second lid goes right on top of the first lid, just like that. And then you go ahead and add that right there, so you have two lids and two vacuum sealed mugs. Now again, you can use the plastic piece here as a third mug, but there's no way to put a lid on that because of the configuration, but you can use that piece as a mug as well. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you've got the ability to have a grinder system here, so you can grind your own coffee. It comes in this nice wool blanket system here, so it doesn't scratch the inside of anything on your kit here. But if you are going to go with this system, this adds about 1 pound overall to the system, but it stores right inside of here. So you put it right in there and then just put it back together the same way you did before, and it screws all together and you're all good to go that way. So it's really a unique system that allows you to do something you usually can't do, and that is have whatever flavor of coffee that you like, whatever blend you prefer, wherever you go. Now for the grinder. This is a super well-built manual coffee grinder. It is, again, portable. It fits right into that system. It's built to do that. And to use this, you just go ahead and unscrew this little piece right here, which attaches and keeps that from flopping around. Fold it back over, and then this is what is going to grind your coffee for you. It even has a handle that extends out like that. And so the way this works is you push the little button on top here, and you'll put your coffee in there, and then put that back on, and you can go to grinding. Now, one thing you need to remember to do with this unit is to go ahead and unscrew the bottom where the grounds are going to end up. That's where those coffee grounds are going to come and end up. And you want to take this little piece off here, and that's going to reveal how fine the coffee is going to be ground. You can set that to whatever you like. But this little piece does not stay in the bottom when you're using it. You want to put it over the top of this handle, and it's magnetic. And so that's going to give you more leverage and make that a lot easier and nicer to grind the coffee. And put that back on there and then go to town grinding your coffee. So this is it's really, really robust. It's a really cool design. Again, gives you a lot of leverage options there. That's magnetic. You can just put that back together really, really quickly if you want to do so. It works really well. We ground up some coffee and able to do a lot of coffee with this. But obviously it's not a huge one. If you're going to grind coffee for a bunch of people, you probably want to go with the larger one. But this is super nice. And again, it comes in a bunch of colors as well. Now, as far as the weights of the various configurations here, that's important because you want to know how much weight you might be carrying, particularly if you are backpacking. So we'll go over that now. The grinder here weighs 1 pound by itself, so you can plus or minus 1 pound depending on if you decide to take this or not. So if we put this here in the nest and then close it up there, so the canister system with the coffee grinder and one lid, you have 2 pounds 5 ounces. If you add this second lid here, you got 2 pounds 6.3 ounces. So if you go ahead and leave the coffee grinder, decide not to take that, then you're going to be just 1 pound less. So 1 pound 5 ounces or 1 pound 6.3 ounces with one lid. So those are the primary configurations there. The lid weighs roughly 1.5 ounces, so really not a big deal to add that to the kit. Now for some of the things I liked and didn't like about the VSSL coffee system. First thing I liked was just how well made it is. It's really durable. You can tell that they did a really good job on keeping the quality high. It comes with everything you need. Again, I would add that second lid personally, but you've got a steel mesh filter here that is reusable. So you can go ahead and stick that back in there, rinse it out, and reuse it for the next time. So you're not having to throw anything away every time you make a cup of coffee. The lid is really nice, and I do like having that insulated mug, particularly if you're out backpacking. It can be cold in the mornings. Coffee can get cold really quick. That helps solve that issue. That is really nice. I like also how everything is all combined into one kit. You don't have to go fishing for things all around in your backpack to make this work. You can even store the coffee itself, the beans, in this system here in the lid. You can just leave it right in there. So you're going to have, of course, not a lot. So if you're going to be out for multiple days, you may want to take some extra, but you've got enough for a couple of cups of coffee there and just in the lid there. And so that part is real nice. So there's a lot of versatility here, a lot of ways that you can use this. It makes it really nice to have. There are a few things, however, though, that I didn't love. I didn't love that it didn't come with the second lid. It just seems like something it should have because you have the two insulated mugs. That's one thing. Another thing I didn't love is while it's not that heavy at just over a pound, 1 pound 5 ounces for the kit, if you don't take the grinder, that weight does add up, particularly if you're an ounce counter in backpacking. It's not terribly heavy, but for just a coffee setup, that's a fair bit of weight to be carrying just to have coffee. So that's something some people will be happy to carry and some won't, but that's a personal preference there. Now, the last thing I didn't love, and this was just at first, was that it took a little bit of getting used to as far as how to put it back together. You get all the pieces pulled apart, and then you find yourself wondering what goes where, which stacks into what. Especially, you get every single piece pulled apart here, and it can be a little bit challenging to figure out how it goes back together. Do it a couple times, and it's really super easy. But I did find myself a couple of times playing around with it, getting it put back together, and that could be a frustration. If you only pull it out a couple times a year, if you're out backpacking or whatnot, or traveling a few times a year, you might find yourself struggling just a little bit. So just familiarize yourself with how it goes together. It's no big deal, but it did take a minute to get really comfortable and familiar with that. Another thing I really liked was just how well built this grinder was. It's a manual grinder, so it's going to last a really long time. You can store coffee, the ground coffee here in the bottom if you want to grind some before you take off on a trip, and then put some more here on the lid. And so you're ready to go. Some more beans right there. So you are all ready to go. And you've got a couple of rounds of coffee all ready to go without having to refill anything. So that's really nice, really well built, really good quality. And because it comes with this guy here, it's easy to store and not scratch anything up in your kit. But it's just super well built. I like the way that this all comes apart, and you can get the extra leverage by putting the pieces all back together there. It's a really nice little kit. So that is the VSSL coffee system. Drop any questions or comment. Love to help out if I can, answer any questions if I can. Put links to the whole system and some of the extra pieces like this extra lid. I went ahead and picked up an extra lid and extra mug here just to throw in the camping gear so I can have a third and fourth mug if I need to. And it's nice and insulated and really well built. Thanks for watching here today, and we will see you next time.